How safe are you? What about when you're walking back to your dorm after a long night of studying, or when it's 12 o'clock a.m. after a night of fun and you need to stop for gas? How safe are you, really? I interviewed 4 college-aged women and surveyed 20 more to determine just that. I based my research off of Gerbners' cultivation theory, or the idea that an individual's reality becomes altered by the messages, images, and portrayals that they see on television. I explored all aspects of mass media, not just television. Would these women believe that they were less safe based on the type of media they consumed? I hypothesized that the data would be split 50-50 between those who were heavily influenced by the media and those who weren't. I don't believe that the majority of college-age students are heavily influenced by media. I decided to put Gerbner's cultivation theory to the test.
My top 3 social media websites have to be Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat?
Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat.
What is it about Twitter that makes it your main source?
I feel like it's just the most relevant, and like it's got most of my friends on it. Twitter's so quick that if something's happening, then they're on it. So then I could just look it up from there, and I'm like, oh, this is what's like going on. And it's people like actually talking about like their feelings and thoughts and things.
Twitter, because on Twitter you can not only get the news, but you can also get entertainment.
And it's also like a lot of news that isn't reported in the media, like in CNN and Fox News. You could get it there as well.
3 out of the 4 girls interviewed stated that Twitter was their main social media website. By gauging the girls' social media appetites, I could determine what kinds of information they received and in what fashion they received it. Twitter and Facebook seemed to be the #1 answer, which told me that videos could be viewed and shared within a matter of seconds, including those that bring awareness to sexual assault and violence towards women. For example, on December 6, Kate McIntyre tweeted, "If we said aloud all the names of all the women in Canada who have been sexually assaulted in the past 5 years, it would take 32 days. That's 768 hours. That's 553,000 women." End quote. One could say that this is a good thing. However, skeptics might argue that this could make women paranoid, causing them to believe that their chances of being attacked are actually much higher than they are in reality. I was intrigued and wanted to know more. Are you familiar with shows like Law and Order, CSI, crime documentaries? And if you are, do you watch them?
Oh yeah, definitely. My favorite has to be Law and Order SVU. I watch it faithfully every week.
Yes, I love watching Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Or are you familiar with shows like Law and Order, CSI, or crime documentaries?
Yeah, no, I've watched like Making a Murder.
You just
I just like watching it because I feel like it's like real stories about like real things that happen in the world and happen to real people.
By gauging the girls' television appetite, I could have a better idea of what types of violence they consumed through television to determine if it created a sense of paranoia in them. And I could also learn how it affected their day-to-day. So, what kinds of crimes in these shows do you see, exhibited towards women or acted out on women, if any?
It's like women will be walking down the street when it's dark and somebody will come up behind them, try to mug them or rape them.
This one specifically, it's mostly like rape or like sex trafficking.
So would you say that sexual assault is the main form of violence toward women that have been reported?
Yeah.
Okay. And so it seemed that the girls expected not to be mugged or robbed, but to be sexually assaulted and taken advantage of based off of the messages and images that they received through mass media. Do you think that there's any truth based off of these portrayals?
I think there is, because even though it's just actors acting out whatever goes on, I feel like it's stuff that really happens to real people. So I feel like, if they're just walking out to the grocery store and someone takes advantage of them and takes them back to their place. Like, I feel like that could happen to me too.
I think it definitely makes me a little more aware of my surroundings. Just
sometimes I take it with a grain of salt, but sometimes I know there's truth based in it, because Law and Order SVU sometimes takes real crimes or real things that happen, and they kind of like maybe fictionalize the characters. But
after watching something like that, I'll have to like look over my shoulder or think twice about where I'm going or what time I'm doing things to make sure like that doesn't happen.
I still kind of like take the tips and tricks that like that they may teach you, or like even some of the dangers in there, they're very real to the ones that can happen to me today, and it's almost kind of like what not to do.
It seemed that most of the girls interviewed believed that the portrayals of sexual assault they saw on television were likely to happen in real life. According to the National Crime Victimization Survey, which includes crimes that were not reported to the police, 232,960 women in the U.S. were raped or sexually assaulted in 2006. That's more than 600 women every day. The Center for Disease Control's most recent statistics on sexual assault shows that 12.9% of rapes are done by a stranger, while 45.4% are committed by an intimate partner. 46.7% are committed by an acquaintance. The numbers are skewed due to multiple reports of sexual assault in the survey. My research, it shows that the risk of sexual violence from a stranger while walking around at night is pretty low in comparison to being attacked by a colleague or an acquaintance while drinking at a party or going on a date.
So do you use or take any safety precautions when you're out alone at night, or even?
Well, on my keychain I have pepper spray and I have like a rape whistle.
I have pepper spray. I used to have pepper spray.
Now I have pepper spray.
My phone, me and my friends were all connected.
People say like to put your keys between your like fingers.
I do that whole like keys between your fingers thing.
It's always like checking behind me, make sure to check my surroundings. Definitely not wearing headphones. Even with taking these precautions, I still feel uneasy. And I think the older as we get, honestly, it's like the more scared you get.
So, what was the verdict? Out of the 20 anonymous women surveyed, nearly 13 of the individuals who consumed media with violence always took safety precautions when walking alone at night or felt uncomfortable doing so, which of course sways in favor of Gerbner's cultivation theory. And as you saw throughout this documentary, the majority of women interviewed believed that the images and portrayals that they saw on television and throughout mass media could possibly happen. Needless to say, there is an increased sense of paranoia after seeing these images through mass media, but I think it's perfectly natural to be on edge about your surroundings as a female at night or any other time. I don't think that anyone I interviewed was particularly or exceptionally paranoid, but instead just extremely responsive to some of the horrific images we see on the news and on our television screens every day. All in all, I would say that Gerbner's cultivation theory or mean world theory proves correct based off of my research.
I don't really know anybody who like actively knows that they're being influenced by the media like that. I don't want to let my fears stop me from going and experiencing something, you know?
I would say that as women, I feel like we should take advantage of like social media and apps like to help keep us safe.
And I don't really expect to ever be killed by anybody, so I don't think I'm like really actively scared like that. But I mean, it definitely happens to people, and I don't think anybody's ever like really prepared for that.